All right. Welcome to another live session. Today is October 16, 2020. It is a Friday, so happy Friday, everyone. Another trading week in the books. Today's session, we'll be going over the trades we took this week and that didn't take. And then more importantly, we're going to prepare for next week. So first things first, I'm going to crack open a nice cold one. It's Friday. A nice cold Coke, by the way. And so first things first, if you haven't joined our Discord, the link to sign up is in the description of the video. Make sure you sign up. That is a place to be, to chat, to share, all kinds of Forex news, chart work, all that good stuff. It's a free Discord. We do have a paid section, but the free side is also pretty useful as well. We also offer free signals, so that's great as well. So make sure you do that. Without further ado, let's get to it. So this week was a pretty decent week for us, depending on what setups you traded and what you entered. But we tried to keep things very simple because some of the market structure has been a bit slow. If you look at the daily time frame on the dollar index, this is what we watched all week like a hawk. This is Friday's candle, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. And so on Monday, we thought we may have a bearish dollar for the week, but then price jumped up. And we knew price was going to start taking out these highs. So we let price do that, and then we determined a bearish dollar because price came to this equal high and used it as resistance and sold off. And so going into next week, we are bearish on the dollar index. And, I was expecting a bit more of a follow through from this rejection. But, the markets have been choppy. Again, we're doing a lot of presidential debates. We still know that the pandemic is still going on. And all that extra fundamental stuff has really capped how much the market moves freely. So we're going to go over to our first setup of the week, which was absolute success, which was Aussie yen short. Very simple trade idea. Really, we went as far as 110 pips. And yesterday during the live session, when we were up around 85, I got members to get out if they were still in it, because this candle, this is a bullish hammer. It's also bullish engulfing, and usually this candle will relate to a retracement, and you don't want to be stuck in that. So the price did retrace, came back down, and it's trying to go back up again. This is messy price action. However, this is clean price action. So we got the clean price action move and got out in time before this madness occurred. The other one is for Euro NZD, which I'm still in. So a quick reminder that Forex lens, for my price action signals, what I like to do and I advocate is when we're in profit and we hit TP1, I like to either close half or at least close a certain percentage, maybe 20 to 30%, and then move stop loss to TP1, right? And every 25 or 30 pips, I like to close a chunk of profit. So another 25%, another 30, until we either reach TP3, and I move my stop loss down each time. So that way we're securing profits as we go, but we're also making sure that it's a risk-free trade the whole way down. Now, I usually do this when I'm awake. So if I'm awake, I can afford to take 30% here, take 30% here, take 30% here. If I'm going to sleep, I'll just take TP1 with the full lot, full position size. If I'm really, really busy throughout the day, which is most of the time, then I'll just go for TP1 and TP2, then I'm out. And we do the same thing when a trade goes into drawdown. So once we hit 25 pips of drawdown, we like to close a certain percentage of our trade. It depends on how big the stop loss is, right? So if it's a 50 pip stop loss, then when you hit 25 pips of drawdown, you want to close half. If it's a 100 pip stop loss, and you might want to close 30% of your position every 25 pips of drawdown. This way, the method we use to take profit is the same method we use to minimize risk, and that way all the pips at the end of the day they average out in a respectable way, right? So Euro NZD, I'm still in this trade with a small 0.30 percent lot. Even though this trade, was a bit annoying. Let me actually show you Euro Aussie. Waiting for it. Euro Aussie. So this is the trade I called yesterday for short, and it went into some profit, and then price pulled back. At this point, I closed off around 40% of my position because this is a bullish engulfing candle. I didn't like that sign. And then during London, right before I went to sleep, I saw this pullback and rejection. And I'm like, okay, now we're probably going to go lower. But again, this morning price jumped up. So it has officially hit our stop loss. But for me, I'm still in it because of this equal high right here. We could use this as resistance and then go down. You know, in the past, price has done that. So the reason why we took this short was because of this resistance at 1.65500, right? And you can see this back in September, 24th of September, we broke above this resistance, came to this high, and then we sold off, right? In the past, we usually just use this resistance. So we tap the resistance, we sell off, tap it, we sell off, tap it, we sell off. Even here, right, we do go a bit above, but it's rarely the case where we go all the way above. So because of this reason, our stop loss was above here, right, just above these recent wicks to give it some breathing room. We can see price went above and officially stopped this out, and right now we're at around 28 pips of drawdown, right? So me holding on to the position is it's going to end up to pay off, because there is a good chance that from here on out we go lower, or we pop back up again. We really touch this level and then we go short. So these are the kind of the intermediate decisions you can make when you start trading on your own. You start identifying this. For me, I like to provide good R2R setups, and this was a 3.61 R2R setup, right? Even if we adjust our stop loss up to here, it's still 2.77, but I rarely like to change stop loss once I call the trade. You know, I don't like to make it a habit, and I just take the loss on the chin. But I knew that this pair was playing a bit of games because the dollar index, and if you look at the example we talked about yesterday, another reason why we took this trade was because we were bearish for the dollar index. When you're bearish for the dollar, that usually means Aussie USD is going to go up, right? And when Aussie USD goes up, Euro Aussie should go down. And this morning, when I looked at the dollar index, it was still bearish, right? This is still a bearish dollar index. This is looking to go lower, right? So I know that eventually, when all the mind games are done, that this will go down to the dollar index. Aussie dollar will go up, and then eventually this will go down after the games are done. So that's why I made that kind of decision of holding on to this trade. I mean, right now we're at 21 pips of drawdown, right? We went as high as 68, but now we're at 28 pips of drawdown, and that's where the experience factor comes in. So members probably made around 40-ish pips for the week. Again, some profits better than no profit. And we had a lot of pending setups which we'll go over, but for those that recognize this equal high up there, that's why I marked it yesterday, because I knew there was a chance price could be very annoying, use the equal high as resistance, and then sell off. But I really thought we'd get that sell off from here. So this is a quick lesson on kind of moving from the beginner stage to intermediate to an advanced trader. We can make these decisions, but this is a trade we can take next week. For example, if next week, come Monday, I will be holding this trade over the weekend. But come Monday, if we do clear, this week's low right here, then next week we can take a trade idea that looks like this, right, and take advantage of that move. So it's still in play, but I don't like to get members to hold trades over the weekend, anyways. But I like to, if the case by case, on a case by case basis, right? And again, this is all what I like to do on the charts where I'm seeing. It's not financial advice. So I always recommend members to do their own analysis, right? And if they agree, they can take the trade. If not, they can always pass. The main thing here is just trying to learn and see what works for you. So now going over to the setups that we were looking to trade, there's plenty. We have alerts right here. So Euro, Euro, we were looking to go lower as we dipped down during the week, but Euro was pretty quiet this week. And pretty shocker because the dollar index was trending, but we were trying to take Euro lower as an intraday setup. If you look at the daily time frame, it spent yesterday and today pretty much canceling each other out. So this down move was canceled by this up move, and so it was kind of a patience game, which it never really played out for us. But I'm still bearish on the euro, as you can see on price action. There is no buy setup here, in my opinion. It's a short, and we still have alert, so we'll wait for our alert to become active next week. And here's another pending setup on euro pound. I'm also bearish, waiting for a 4-hour candle closure to clear this low, which we haven't. We spent this week very consolidated for euro pound. This is Friday's candle, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. You can simply box that up. That's not a lot of price action to work with. You can't really do much with this. But the overall bias is still short in terms of price action. So we have the setups. We are doing the homework on the charts. But if it doesn't become active, there's a reason why. And there's no point of entering a trade only to be stuck in drawdown and even hit a stop loss, right? Next, we had UJ, so USD yen, looking to go short. Again, pretty quiet day for quiet week for UJ. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. So after Monday's big move, this past Monday was a holiday, so we technically only had a 4-day trading week. It was Thanksgiving for us. So those 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, UJ didn't go anywhere, right? We had an up candle, a down candle, an up candle, and a down candle. So long term is still in a downtrend. That's why we're looking for that short after we clear this low right here. But price obviously does not want to move. So what can you do? Unless we all place one order at the same time, maybe we can make UJ move, but I doubt it. The market makers, they're the ones that really make price move. Another one was for NZD dollar. So at the start of the midweek, we're looking to go long Tuesday to Wednesday as price climbed back up, and we're looking to clear this high to go long. Price instead pulled back, and it's still in an uptrend, right? This is a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It could create a new higher high on Monday or maybe on Tuesday, and then we can take that long to these highs. But it was another setup we were banking on happening because we were bearish on the dollar, right? So this should have went up, but who knows why it didn't. And then even GU still looking to go long, but price is pretty quiet week for some of the majors, and that's we were trying to go long from this high, but we never really got that break, and so prices come back to this consolidation box. So I think this is partly due to the upcoming election. We're about 2 weeks away, maybe around 20 days away. So hopefully when that is all done and the dust settles, we can end off the year strong. But you have to remember, after the election, a month later, we have the holidays, and we know trading during the holidays is everything but exciting, right? It's very, very quiet. Everyone on Wall Street, Sydney, Tokyo, all over, all the major market makers on holiday. And so that's going to be interesting as well, but we do the best we can, right? So at this point, we're going to do an important part of the session is prepare for next week. We already have a potential trade for Euro NZD. If it does clear the low, then we have things like our trade for NZD USD, where we're looking to run those highs, and we'll go over some of the minor pairs and also the fundamental schedule to see if there's any trade ideas. So at this point, send any pair recommendations on YouTube and Discord, and I'll get to them, and we can start preparing for next week. So next week is a 5-day trading week, which is great. We'll have more time to kind of wait out and see what setups do. Let me go over some pairs I wanted to check out, and then we'll do any pair recommendations. So the first one is for CAD CHF. So CAD CHF, it's been ranging, and I'm probably gonna bite the trap or just bite the bait and look for a ranging setup. So I'm going to go to the 2-hour time frame and possibly look for trading this range come next week. So I'm going to wait for price to either get to the top of the range, which is up here, or the bottom of the range, and then I'm going to act accordingly, right? You can see for the most part, we've respected the range. Now, sometimes, we do a bit of a, where price action goes up, then pulls back sharply, then just goes on a mad run to the top. The same thing goes for when we sell off. So sometimes we sell off completely, nice pullback, then all the way to the bottom. Other times we sell off very sharply, then immediately take a U-turn in the opposite direction. But I just want to get something on the table for us going into next week. So the two levels you want to look out for the CAD CHF range is 0.69850 and then 0.68850. So it's a 100 pip range, and obviously you want to get the 100 pips from here to here, but even 60, 70 pips is good in this range. So we'll look at that this week. We came very close to the bottom of the range, but we just didn't get pushed. We didn't push back up enough. We just came here and then immediately turned up. So I think we'll have to wait for price to come to the top and then take the short. Another one is for CAD Yen. So CAD Yen, we were looking to initially go long, but over Monday, we don't trade Mondays, but on Monday, price basically did a fake out. It jumped up here on Sunday and then pulled back and then tried to go again, but when we go long, we like to clear the high that we've made. We haven't cleared this high, so this long idea wasn't taken, and instead price sold off. It sold off and it came to this blue zone as some type of support and has pushed back above. And so for me, I think this is a good telltale sign of a short-term reversal. And so what we can do is, if you look at this price action on the smaller time frame, you can see here we have a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and now we've created a new lower high. But what we can do is wait for this high to get cleared. If we can clear this high, then we can start taking a nice, very, very great risk to reward ratio setup to the upside, where we can target each of these highs as a TP. So here's an example of what that may look like. So we have this as a TP1, this as a TP2, and then this as a TP3, and our stop loss will be like that, halfway in between this key level and this one, and we have a 3.3 R2R setup. So we have a lot of momentum from this blue zone, and I'll show you where this zone is from. It's from the weekly time frame. Right, we're currently using this weekly resistance zone as a support. The weekly candle is also a bearish hammer, which is usually a nice pullback candle. Remember, you never want to go short on a bearish hammer. It's usually a candle that appears in an uptrend. On a pullback, for example, here we see a bearish hammer and price jumped up. So we have a possibility of that happening. So come Monday, we'll be looking for that closure and potentially take that long. Again, today's candle closure is a nice bullish hammer. Yesterday was a nice bearish hammer, so we do have the momentum to go up. And on the daily time frame, we are in an uptrend, right? This was a deep pullback, but it hasn't cleared this low. It hasn't cleared this low, and therefore it's still an uptrend despite this, very deep push. So that's one trade idea. I'm bullish on the CAD. We'll see if that holds throughout the weekend. Over the weekend, a lot of things change, whether it's things with politics or just in general moves that occur over the weekend. But for now, I think this is a good trade idea, and the stop loss is only going to be 15 pips. So 15 pip stop loss for around a 50 pip gain. That's pretty good. That's a really good R2R setup and a good intraday trade. So we'll see if that can play out for us. Someone said Euro Yen on YouTube, so look at Euro Yen. And let me just double check Discord, make sure I don't miss anyone. Alright, everyone's good. So Euro Yen, usually Fridays, everyone's enjoying their profits, so I understand. So here's a discussion of the fake out. So October 9th, Friday, price jumped up here, but we were looking for a bullish candle closure, and none of these candles are bullish, right? We want a bullish hammer or bullish engulfing. So this is a fake out, which our traders don't fall for, since we know, and price immediately sold off. Now, if you look at the price action, it's very sneaky, but you have to notice this. This is still an uptrend, despite this huge sell-off. We haven't cleared. We barely. I was just about to say we barely cleared this week's low. So this may. I mean, this is 50-50. This is tough because you can see here's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then this low. I mean, it's cleared this week's low. This low has barely cleared this low right here, barely, but it did. So that's tough. I'm looking at euro. I am bearish on the dollar, therefore I'm bullish on the euro. So I'd say the uptrend is the most common, most possible outcome here, but that is a tough low, because we're talking about maybe 1 or 2 pips that it's cleared this low. So euro yen, if I had to give something, if you put a gun to my head and actually give you a trade idea, it may take a while, but I wait for price to make its way all the way back up here to clear this high, and then take that long top here. But this could take a few days, maybe even a whole week. So I don't know, something's telling me in my mind that this is a long. If I look to the left, we have a reversal from here, right? A reversal from here. I mean, yeah, I think the long is the best bet, but I'm sure we can find something better. In the grand scheme of things, if you look at the monthly time frame, we're still bearish, right? We are still bearish on the monthly time frame. Despite all the theatrics, let me clean this up. Despite all the theatrics, we are still bearish, and that's what concerns me about giving a possible bullish bias. You can see this week's candle is a shooting. I mean, this monthly candle is a shooting star, right? We have a long wick, a small body, short to the bottom. This is telling me it's still a short, right? And another thing is we haven't cleared this significant high, right? When you have a trend reversal, you want to clear at least a few highs, right? So we've cleared this one, we've cleared this one. We had trouble clearing this one. And in my opinion, this is a more of a significant high, as you can see it's actually a nice official high, where this high and this high aren't really too separated, but this is a nice clean high. And we had a tough time breaking that high. We spent all of September trying to break it, and now all of October. In my opinion, we have a short going, and this is one of the reasons why we have an alert at 122.500. So in the long term, scheme of things, I'm still bearish on euro yen. When we came down to here, I really thought price was headed lower, but a lot of this is, again, controlled by the euro dollar. So the euro dollar has been moving as cleanly as it usually does, and because of that, euro yen has followed suit. But if we do clear this low, 122.500, then we can open up the floodgates. Going long from this point to here, I mean, it is an option. It is definitely a more riskier option in my opinion, but if I had to break it down in percentages, I'd be right now 60-40, 60 long, 40% bearish. But if we clear this low right here, and we can see the support that we used, right? This is a daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we used 122.500 for support with this consolidation. And so if we do come here next week and we break this level, then we will have a sell-off to these lows, to these lows, to these lows. So I guess for the short term, I'm 60-40, but long term, I'm yelling sell all the way. So any last minute pairs, let me know. If not, I'll give a 50% off coupon code so that you can join all these sessions. I only hold one free session a week. So if you're trying to join in all of them, now is a chance. Someone said US 30. Perfect. Alright, so last time what did we give? Interesting. I think we gave a home run trade setup. Oh yes, we did. So last time we gave this home run trade setup. We drew this simple trend line from here all the way up to here, and this is the kind of thought process. If it breaks 26788, you go long to 28550 at this trend line. So you can see price came up, broke, and then we shot up. And we even said there could be a chance of a retracement. So if we come up here, we want to wait for price to come down. So you can see price came up, came down, and then we went up, and price went to 28550, 28550. Yes, it did. At this green level right here. Pretty much to the T. SP 500 and Dow are really easy to analyze based on price action. I think even more so than Forex sometimes, but I think that's up to personal opinion. But went to that level 2,900 450. Hope for shorts there. On the smaller time frame, yeah, I think that's the best bet. So you can look at the Dow right now. This was the high we made back in September. This is the sell-off. This is the rally, and this is the high we made this month. We did have a potential to go short, but we hammers are great pullback candles. You never want to go short on that candle, so price pulled back up. So me personally, I wouldn't risk going along at this point because price can go up, use this high as resistance, and then sell off, right? Or price can go up and use this high as resistance and then sell off, right? And then if not, price can come up to this high and then sell off. So you don't have much breathing room, right? There's not much to be made in this scenario. The best thing to do is wait for price to get up to this high, look for rejection, and then have your stop loss, up here. Give it some breathing room, go short from here, and then start targeting these lows. That's what I would personally do. In this case, if I were to take this trade, and this is what I think will happen, right? So something like this is a trade setup that I would take, something that RP Forex would take. I would not go long from this point on, especially since on a smart time frame, we failed to clear this high. So even if we do clear this high, the only upside target we have is up here, and that's only about 200 points away. So it's not worth it. You gotta wait for the long-term play. Now, the long-term play could also be a short, in my opinion, if price can clear this low down here, right? So you remove all these. You have to start thinking. You have to start thinking in terms of value investing, and not really as a trader who's looking for every single move. You don't have to catch every single move. Catch the move that's the most likely and has the highest potential return. So, the highest potential return, in my opinion, is I'd wait for price to come up here and then look for a short. Or if next week somehow we do clear this week's low, if price can come down, then I could look for a intraday or a weekly short down to this low, right? Something like this. So that's what I would do in this situation. Again, it's not financial advice. Do your own analysis, but in my opinion, I like to go for those high probable moves, and I would not be going against the trend, even though the trend isn't too intact in my opinion. It's just a better way to trade in my experience. So that's why I say for the Dow, wait for it to come up here and then kind of reevaluate your options. So at this point, I'm going to quickly give a coupon code that will get you your first month for 50% off. So I hold live sessions once a day. our Smart Money Trader Institute trader. He holds live sessions at least at least once a day, but more times twice a day. So we have 3 live sessions a day teaching you how to trade. I do price action. He does smart money. Smart money is more of an institutional way of trading, like the banks. And if you combine smart money concepts with price action, or you can use either or, you will be a absolute monster in the markets. And we combine all that teaching with 10 signal providers. So not only can you learn, you can also earn at the same time, and that's a deadly combination. So if you want to join, it's very simple. That's the coupon code. So you go to our website, forexlens.com. Let me pull it up here. So you go to forexlens.com, and what you do is you go to Forex Trading Room, click Get Started. And then this is for the apprentice, so our monthly subscription. You fill out this form, you click Next, and then there'll be a button say Enter Coupon Code. If you enter first 50, your first month will only be $73.50 for all of that content, and plus full access to our Discord, where you can personally message the mentor for extra help. So that's the way to go. If you need a coupon code or a discount for any of our 3-month or yearly options, just chat to our live chat agent and she'll help you out with that. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully I see some new faces on Monday morning's live session. And that'll be that. So please be safe.